Hi everyone, this is Dr. S.M. Baggio. Today we are going to see about Sir Philip Sidney and his biography and works. In this chapter, he tells about how he defended Gosson and also add the concept about poetry and how he defended the works with this. Sir Philip Sidney was born on 30th November 1554 and he died on 17th October 1586. With this time period, he defended poetry and also he told about how he defended the Gosson's method. He was an English poet, courtier, scholar, and soldier, and he was born into aristocratic family. That he was a soldier, which you can find how many ways he suffered, and also he told about the main education of Shrewsbury School and Christ Church. He tells the main things how we discussed with the thing with the poetry and also deals with the main concept of every reaction with his life, that is the life of renowned Sir Philip Sidney. That was his biography by Flock Greville. In Shrewsbury he met that the soldier, how he can be mainly told by the biography of Sidney, how he reowned Sir Philip Sidney's work. So his main works are knighted in 1583, and Sidney's dedicated his longest work, Acacia, to his youngest sister Mary. So here you can see how he was dedicated to his work, and also this was his longest work, and he was killed at the Baton, and also he was killed at Baton Soufin in 1586, and he died at the age of 31. So you can see here he was a soldier and he was fought till his last breath, where you can find he was not only supporting his poetry as well as he was supporting his country too. So his literary work occurred between the year 1578 and 1582. So these are the works of Sir Philip Sidney. An Apology for Poetry, The Defence of Poesy. That was his main work, which you can find he defends the poetry with Gosson. So this was the answer to Stephen Gosson, the school of abuse. So what are the things he told about and which he defended, and it was written in 1579 by Stephen Gosson. So in this only he abuses the poetry, and the things are: poetry is the waste of time, poetry is the mother of lies, poetry is the nurse of abuse. Plato had rightly banished the poets from his ideal republic. So he defends these kind of things, that which Stephen Gosson had told about, that poetry is utter waste of time. Without poetry we can succeed many things in life, but people are wasting time in poetry. That you can see. Next is poetry is the mother of lies, that the truth you can see how he describes poetry with the form, and also the poetry is the nurse of abuse, which you can see all the time with his main works. So his two editions of poet work appeared posthumously in 1595, and it was published by Ponsin Board, the title The Defence of Poesy, and it was published by Only an Apology for Poetry. So works of Sidney is Aristotle and Stella. This was a famous work in 1591, a sequence of 108 love sonnets and 11 songs. And it was named derived from two Greek words: aster means star, phil means lover, and the Latin word stella means star. So Aristotle, that is Aristo, Phil, That means Aristo means star, Phil means lover. So with this you can see he was dedicated all the stella, that means star, which gives the promotion of, that means star, lover, that star. Yes, so the plot was unhappy love of Aristotle, that love of star for Stella, and it was written to his mistress, Lady Penelope Rich. So this mistress was Sidney's main love, and he dedicated his all work that to Stella. That you can see how he was unhappy love of Aristotle, that he was a progressive rise and fall of love. He was not happy with what he had, but adopts Petrarchan octave with variations in sestet, which included the English final couplet. So other works of Sir Philip Sidney is Acadia. The Countess of Pembroke's Acacia. So here you can see how it has been described with the work, and this was also one of the famous work, and it was the longest prose of pastoral romance, which was published in 1590, and it was incomplete and was completely finished in 1598, and it was completed by Mary Sidney and first published after his death. So it was a incomplete work, and Richardson took the name of the first heroine, Palamia, from Sidney's romance. So by this you can find how the works of Sidney after he played also the Lady of May, that was a one act play, Masque, and it was performed for Queen Elizabeth in 1578 to 79, and it was gave a copy to Elizabeth I, and it was a translation of Sam in English, that was Mary Sidney and Philip Sidney. You can see how it was combined by them, and it was dedicated to a queen, that you can see if gave his life to the country and his works to the government, that is a queen. So it was a translation of Sam in English, that Sam is a Bible lyrical work, which you can find how it has been dealt with, how Sidney gave his copy to English literature and also to the Sam in English. It was derived, and these are the main works which we can find how Sidney has mainly derived the same copy to Elizabeth I, and she gave entire life to this. So this how Sir Philip Sidney gave a choice.